What is up, Budget Billers? My name is Trail, and now the pressure for President Biden to provide stimulus checks by Christmas is now heating up again. First, it was pushing for a Thanksgiving stimulus check that ended up not really happening, but now the pressure for a Christmas bonus check is now the center of attention. Guys, check out these two articles right here. This one says that Christmas bonus surprise stimulus checks of $1,000 are being sent to 5 different states before Christmas. And then we have this article right here that says that 7 states are actually offering stimulus aid to residents before the holidays arrives. And they are talking about Christmas as well. So guys, if you guys have been following this channel, you know for the past week or so, I have been announcing new states and local governments offering their own stimulus check or stimulus payments as the year continues to dwindle down. It seems like more governments are trying to disperse some of that stimulus funds received from the government. As you recall, the American Rescue Plan allocated about $350 billion to be provided to states and local governments to use that money how they choose, as long as it's related to the pandemic. And that's exactly what's happening right now, guys. More and more are offering additional stimulus checks to its residents, but typically it's for low-income households. But in this video, guys, I'm going to tell you who these 7 states are, and hopefully you guys live in one of those locations. But we also have some breaking news from the IRS regarding the Trump tax cuts back in 2017. But hey guys, if you're interested in those particular topics right there or any other stimulus update news, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you end up liking the content in this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel, guys. All right, let's go ahead and jump right back into this video. Okay guys, starting off with a little bit of bad news, but the former Senator Bob Dole has died. Yes guys, former Kansas Senator Bob Dole passed away on Sunday morning at the age of 98 years old. Now, Dole was a public figure in U.S. politics and a Republican presidential nominee back in 1996. He also served in the Senate for 27 years, including 11 years as the GOP leader. But earlier this year, he revealed that he had been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So it is with heavy hearts that we announce that Senator Robert Joseph Dole died early on Sunday morning in his sleep. Now, all day on Sunday, guys, lawmakers were sending out and remembering what a great man that Bob Dole was, and well, as they actually called him a bona fide American hero. Now, in addition to that, President Biden has ordered flags to be flown at half-staff through December the 9th to actually honor Bob Dole. So we definitely want to send our condolences out to him as well as his family. Also, guys, in other news, the IRS has just released some new data points that proves that the Trump tax cuts actually benefited the middle working class Americans the most. Congressional Democrats have argued that one of the best ways to pay for that large stimulus bill right now, which is called the social spending bill, is to pay for the legislation, is to raise taxes on the wealthy households, which, according to many on the left, many have benefited disproportionately and unfairly from the 2017 tax reform law that was passed by Republicans and signed by former President Donald Trump. This particular latest data, however, proves that this claim is purely a myth. Now, the income data was published by the IRS clearly shows that on average, all income brackets benefited substantially from the Republicans' tax reform law, with the biggest beneficiaries being working and middle class income filers, not the top 1% filers, as so many Democrats have actually argued. Now, a careful analysis of the IRS tax data, one that includes the effects of tax credits and other reforms to the tax code, shows that filers with an adjusted gross income, or AGI, of $15,000 to $50,000 enjoyed an average tax cut of 16%, up to 26% in 2018. Which was the first year that the Republicans' Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, went into effect and the most recent year for which data was actually available. Now, filers who earned $50,000 up to $100,000 received a tax break of about 15% up to 17%. And those earning $100,000 up to $500,000 in adjusted gross income saw their personal income taxes cut by around 11% up to 13%. And then, by comparison, no income group with an AGI of at least $500,000 or more received an average tax cut exceeding 9%. And the average tax cut for brackets starting at $1 million and higher received less than 6%. Now, guys, that means most middle income and working class earners enjoyed a tax cut that was at least double the size of tax cuts received by households earning $1 million or more. What's more important is that the IRS data shows earners in higher income tax brackets contributed a bigger slice of the total income tax revenue pie, following the passage of the tax reform law that they had in previous years. So, to contrary what we've always heard from the Democrats, always pushing that the Trump tax cuts actually benefited the top 1% American people, well, that is not true according to this data released by the IRS. Now, the fact is, guys, that Republicans' 2017 tax reform law did exactly what was promised to the American people. It actually lowered taxes for all income groups, provided the greatest benefits for the middle income households, and spurred economic growth that helped reduce poverty and improve prosperity. It would be a grave mistake for Democrats to eliminate key parts of this important legislation, as we now have this actual data coming directly from the IRS themselves. But moving on, guys, to some stimulus update news, we have this first article that I mentioned earlier in this video that we talked about, the Christmas bonus, these surprise stimulus checks of $1,000 or more being sent out in 5 states before Christmas. Now we're going to find out exactly who those states are. And it says right here, guys, residents living in some states may be eligible for a surprise stimulus check worth up to $1,000 or more ahead of Christmas. Now, as calls for the 4th round of stimulus checks continue, local state governments are stepping up and assisting their residents financially ahead of the Christmas holidays. Now, with 2021 coming to a close, state-level stimulus check payments are still rolling out for eligible recipients, as over 400,000 households have received their surprise stimulus cash. Now, these particular bonus cashes comes as 36 million families receive their second last child tax credit checks on November the 15th. And the final child tax credits will be coming around December the 15th. But that's not what we're talking about here in this video, guys. Here are the 5 states who will be rolling out stimulus checks ahead of Christmas. And the first one we have is Arizona. And they are saying that in Arizona, out-of-work residents are able to take advantage of the state's back-to-work program. Now, those who go back to work part-time are eligible for $1,000. Those returning to full-time workers could receive up to $2,000. And yes, guys, if you are needing a job right now, this is the perfect time to actually apply for a job and hope that you receive it, because you're going to sign up and receive one of these stimulus checks. And let's say you already do have a job right now, guys, it might be advantageous for you to actually look for another job, because if you change jobs and go ahead and get one of these new jobs in Arizona, you could also be eligible to receive one of these $2,000 stimulus checks. But moving on, guys, we have the next state on the list, which is California. And we know that California has already implemented their Golden State stimulus to residents who were required to have filed their 2020 tax return by October the 15th. And a salary of $30,000 up to $75,000 per year will actually qualify you, if you are a California resident, to receive up to $1,100 for those with children under the age of 18 years old. So yes, guys, in California, if you made less than $75,000 per year, you could receive one of these $1,100 stimulus checks. And then on Monday, bonus checks were actually sent out to millions of Americans in California if you were eligible for one of these stimulus checks. Now, these checks will be dispersed to those who did not receive a direct deposit and live in a zip code ending between $585 and $719, according to the Franchise Tax Board, which issues the stimulus payments as well as paper checks, can take up to 3 weeks for them to arrive. Now, around 9 million eligible Californians are set to receive the end of the year Golden State stimulus payment. So I hope one of you guys are out there are eligible to receive one of these because they are on their way. Now, the next state that we have is Connecticut, guys. Governor Ned Lamont announced the Back to Work program for $1,000 stimulus checks starting on May the 30th of 2021, which will continue until December the 31st. So yes, guys, again, if you are needing a job right now or you already have a job, you might want to go ahead and look for a new job in Connecticut because you could be eligible to receive one of these $1,000 stimulus checks. Now, the requirements are more involved in other states with specifics on when residents filed for unemployment and how long they were on unemployment benefits. Now, residents who are also required to have obtained a job to be eligible for a stimulus payment. And then we have Florida, guys. Teachers and principals will receive $1,000 in stimulus checks for their commitment to educating during the pandemic. And then we also have Georgia. Teachers and principals as well will receive $1,000 in stimulus payments as well for their commitment for educating during the pandemic. And then again in New Hampshire, officials are sending out $1,086 in stimulus payments is available to families of 3 people without any income whatsoever. So yes, guys, those are the 5 states from this article that are telling you about these particular stimulus payments that are available for either you're looking for a job or either you are unable to actually work and you don't receive any income, or if you are a teacher or a principal and you have actually taught during the pandemic. But if we switch over to this other article that talked about 7 states that are offering stimulus payments, we do have 2 additional states on this article. And that first one is New Mexico. Anyone that wasn't eligible for a New Mexico relief benefits back in August can apply for another round of economic relief payments. And these are specifically for low-income households. And yes, you could receive $750 if you didn't receive these particular benefits back in August. So if you live in New Mexico, you might want to look up this particular information because you could be eligible for $750. And then lastly, guys, we do have the state of Tennessee. The Rutherford County school officials passed legislation to pay a $1,000 stimulus bonus for full-time public school employees and $500 for part-time public school employees if they were employed with the district from October the 1st through December the 17th. So guys, if you were a school teacher in this particular area of Tennessee, yes, you could receive $1,000 stimulus bonus before Christmas, guys. And yes, employees who remain with the district between January and March of 2022 will actually qualify for an additional $500 stimulus payment. And then also, guys, new employees that were hired through the end of December are actually eligible to qualify for the second bonus payment. So yes, guys, this is a lot of free money in these particular states. And I'm sure we are going to see more states actually offering more stimulus payments as well. So you might want to make sure that you're subscribed to this channel to make sure that you follow along on all the states that actually introduce new stimulus payments. But lastly, guys, as far as Tennessee goes, it says that the relief is meant to aid individuals who suffered during the COVID-19 pandemic and help them get back on their feet. And then also, guys, we have another state, Vermont. It says right here, meanwhile, Vermont is not issuing a direct payment. The state is offering to cover moving expenses up to $7,500 for people relocating to the state of Vermont. Now, the caveat is the individual must be relocating due to the unemployment in hospitality and construction. So yes, hey, if you are working in hospitality in another state or construction, you could have the option to move to Vermont, and they would pay you up to $7,500 just for moving to Vermont. This is going to cover some of your moving expenses and probably even more. So you could have some additional money left over if you decide that you want to move to Vermont. I hope this information was helpful to you guys out there. Hey, but anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you end up liking this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel, guys, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.